What happens when sacrifice becomes selfish?
His life is left unchecked.
I want to be great.
Life will cease to exist.
I want to be one of the greats.
One thing I can do for them.
I know I can. I'll do my best.
It is to win.
You got my word.
And keep winning.
Arasaka all the way to the top.
Until I attain my dream.
What do you think of that, Al?
I just couldn't wear a heartfelt smile
This is my perfect victory.
while living in this world.
I'm gonna be the king.
Kill them all.
The pirate.
Every last one.
It needs correction.
You don't know that! No, I would stop you from doing that. You know that for a fact.
I'm the only one who knows that.
One man's dream can hold dominion over the entire world.
When a man aspires to break news,
Some see nothing more than life and death.
he must also bear a great burden.
They are dead,
A man can't live in isolation with nothing more than a dream.
for they have no dreams.
Conviction. The quality of showing that one is firmly convicted of what one believes or says. If I asked you what this looked like, what would you say in response? If 10 people gave their answers, it's possible that we could get 10 different responses. Some may be honorable, while others may be a bit more extremist or open to interpretation. Throughout storytelling and human history, we've tried again and again to provide a perfect demonstration of exactly what this looks like. While many characters have conviction, your shonen MCs, epic fantasy heroes, or even some protagonists have exemplified this idea, every now and then there will be a character who falls into some trope so much broader than just hero or villain. These are your Griffiths, your Andrew Neiman's, your Luffy's, and although they do not share a similar role within their story, they all encapsulate this brilliant idea of conviction. I think that some of the traits that humanity as a collective loves are both innovation and novelty, and alongside those things, I think that we love conviction. Whether you perceive somebody to be right or wrong, foolish or wise, it's possible that looking at their hard work and dedication to their beliefs yields some form of respect within you. Whenever one of these characters make their way onto my screen or appear between the pages of my novel, I cannot help but to be captivated, and I think the popularity of them suggests the same for many people. When conviction is expressed in a way to show what a character is or is becoming in that moment, I believe that is when we best see the honorable nature of sacrifice or whatever other positive trait is on display. This is because the action being demonstrated for us is a reflection of whatever the character exemplifies in that moment. But then on the other hand, when the conviction is expressed through what a character could be, I believe this is when we get that type of selfish sacrifice I mentioned earlier in the video. Because where self-sacrifice ends the journey of a character, selfish sacrifice deepens it, and it's because of that difference I think that we've been so easily captivated by the extremists who often push the needle forward. Sometimes this can lead to a retroactive romanticization of who people were. For example, one of the most brilliant generals to ever walk the earth, Alexander the Great. Almost everyone knows of him and what he did, but I sometimes wonder what exactly would a man who conquered the world look like? Take a look at a character like Griffith, who could not live apart from his dream of becoming king. The thought of living a quiet life with his wife Casca and child as a commoner is worse than death itself, because to him, he is dead if not for his dream. Or maybe we visit Thanos and his perspective on life, willing to sacrifice his own daughter and everything to accomplish his goal in life because of his own convictions. Eren Yeager, who would rather activate the rumbling than be anything other than free. I believe these characters give us a glimpse into what a man like this would have needed to look like, and that idea is incredibly interesting. If I asked these characters, what are you willing to give up in order to achieve what you wanted, their answer would be everything. Because to them, the world that they live in is simply not worth it, or a life where they are not who they want to be is not worth living. And this extremist view is often utilized in the world of villainy. Think Light Yagami or Suguru Geto. I believe this is done on purpose because the idea of selfish sacrifice of everything in order to get what they want is inherently a negative one. However, that isn't always the case that they are villains. Take for example Andrew Neiman from the 2014 film Whiplash, where Andrew's desire is to be one of the greatest drummers and jazz musicians ever to pick up the sticks. This ambition isn't inherently a negative one, but the story carefully presents to Andrew the question we talked about earlier. What does your conviction cost? Over the course of the movie, we see Andrew grow from a somewhat timid, eager student to a demanding and dominant drummer, and during that time, he chooses ambition over everything else. The emotional well-being of his girlfriend and love of his father being the two biggest in the story. Never once does he stop to consider if Nicole will continue to support him even though he wants to be great. She is an extra in his life, because he wants to be great and she doesn't. His father, likewise, wants him to gain perspective, but that's not something Andrew wants. He wants to be the best. Another character like this is Blue Lock's Kurogami. As someone who was eliminated from the Blue Lock program, his dreams for soccer should have been dashed, but then he's given the option to become a wild card. And we get to see one of his two desires die. The dream to be the greatest striker and the dream to be a football superhero are put at odds, and we see where his true conviction is. He throws away that honorable character in pursuit of greatness. These convicted characters are about extremes, and they show us how these extremists do not always need to be the villains. In fact, when we take a look at Whiplash, there is a villain character in the form of Fletcher, but the story actually makes the push that either Neiman's ambition or abandonment of his dreams is the real villain depending on how you look at it. Is it worth dying drunk and broke at 30 to have people talk about you, or rich at 90 with no one to remember your name? That is Whiplash's version of what does your dream cost? This video isn't exactly a breakdown of any individual character, or here to show off example after example. It's also not here to provide an answer on what the correct perspective is, but simply to share what I believe to be the most captivating characters in media. They cannot help but to inspire me. These characters, who are brilliant dreamers, or convicted conquerors. If you have any characters this video reminds you of, leave a comment letting me know, and if you enjoyed this one, go ahead and check out some of our other stuff. Also, join our Discord, link in the description. Until next time, keep dreaming.